So yesterday I covered performance testing at high level. What is performance testing and what are the four major factors for doing performance testing? So can someone explain, guys, what what is performance testing? How do we do performance testing and what are the four major factors for doing performance testing? So can I ask Bharat?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Bharat.
Performance testing is a non-functional testing
Very good. Yeah.
to determine an application speed, stability, scalability, reliability. This is the major factors.
Okay.
The speed of the application, the stability of
Mhm.
the application, how scalable it is.
Okay.
We will check this for performance testing.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Goals of the performance testing is the responsive time.
Measure the response time. Yeah.
Measure the response time, or
Mhm.
SLA,
Mhm.
service level agreement.
Okay.
Like example, home page login time. They
Mhm.
are team given by the BA team.
Okay.
BA team means business analyst.
Right.
Uh,
All right. So, yeah. Yeah. And one more thing, guys, like before starting, so we have some trained fresher requirement in our friends companies and all. So 4 to 5 friends companies, so we have some requirement for trained freshers. Okay. So please refer any freshers like who are willing to learn and then get a job. So we can show placement as a trained fresher if,
Yeah, sure, sir.
from 2019 to 2022 pass outs.
Yeah, compulsory.
Okay. Luckily, they are taking like 2009 pass outs also as freshers. Okay. So there is no, there is no hassle, all these hassles like fake paddum, no need of for doing all these things, right? All these malpractices and all. So if they get as a fresher, they can happily join and the companies will give 3 to 6 months training for them and whatever technology they want. So if they want testing, if you are interested in testing, yes, they will give testing training. Otherwise, if they are interested in development or if they are interested in DevOps, right, they have separate trainings for them. They'll give 3 to 6 months training, and once the training is completed, they are like if they are placed into project, if they are able to crack client interviews, and they are immediately giving very good hike after 6 months. But if they're taking as a fresher, there will be some conditions like bond untadi, you know that, right? So those companies who are giving training, right, definitely they will have, most of the companies will have this agreement like a 1 year, 1.5 year bond untadi. You are aware of that, right? Okay.
Yes.
So coming back to this, like what are the performance metrics? I'll cover it later, guys. It's too early to cover this, but basically when I'm giving introduction to performance testing, I just want to just give a overview on these performance metrics. So performance metrics means when we are testing any application, so there are certain metrics or certain counters we need to monitor on the client side as well as server side. So client side metrics వచ్చి transaction response time, hits per second, throughput, and disk IOPS. These are the important client side metrics. Disk IOPS means input output operations. Okay. Disk IOPS means input output operations. So why it is important? Elant applications important at a disk IOPS. So for example, if you have Naukri kind of application where you will be uploading your CV or you will be downloading some files, right? You can download the CV also from Naukri, right? Yes or no? You can upload as well as
Yes.
download. So when there
Yes.
is
Yes. Yes.
when there are such file upload and download operations, you will have these disk operations, more of disk operations. Disk utilization will be there on the servers, right? So these are the important client side metrics. So, and disk IOPS means these disk IOPS, disk input output operations is required for those kind of applications which are having file operations, file upload or file download operations. So other than that, like these are the important client side metrics: transaction response time, right? What is meant by a transaction? First of all, I think I did not cover it yet, right? What is meant by a transaction? Okay, so let me explain what is meant by a transaction. So for example, you
So,
are
So if we
Yes.
post one order to accounting software, then how much time it is taking? So that is a transaction. Or if we are clicking on login page, so how much it is taking to complete that process?
Right. Yes. So, so if you are visiting a website, or okay, like redbus.in, or else if you are going to amazon.in, okay, amazon.in or flipkart.com or apple.com, right? So you are doing one transaction. You are doing a one transaction of accessing the website, right? Homepage of the website. This is one transaction. Now, if you are searching for some product, okay, this is one transaction. Understood, guys? I searched for some product. That is one transaction. Now, let's say, for example, I selected this product. I am selecting this product. That is one transaction. Okay. And if I add this to cart, that is one transaction. Clear, guys? And if you click on proceed to checkout, that is one transaction. So any user action is called as a transaction. Any user action which involves sending some request to the server from browser, that is called as a transaction. Understood, guys?
Yes.
So please understand here, any user action which involves sending some request to the server, that is called as a transaction. Okay. For example, you are scrolling down the page. This is not a transaction. This may not be, if there is no request going to the server here, right? This can't be turned as a transaction. Understood? Or if you are, suppose if you are selecting some option from the drop down, right? If there is no request going to the server, that is not called as a transaction. Server ke edana request veltane, whenever there is some request going to the server, then only that is called as a transaction. Clear, guys?
Yes.
So
Yes, clear.
how we know that? How can we identify whether a request is going to the server or not? I'll cover that later. Okay, but for now, transaction is understood, right? What is meant by a transaction? Yes, sir. And there is a difference, guys. There is a difference between database or transaction, and that is something different. If you say like what is a transaction in a database, that is quite different. Okay, if you do some fund transfer, if you are doing some payment or fund transfer, so from the database perspective, transaction has a different meaning. Akka transaction ante enti? So when you make some payment, right? So that amount should be deducted from your account and transferred to the recipient account. That is one transaction. Both both those debit and credit operations, those are called as one transaction. But here in testing, right? So what is a transaction is any user action which involves sending some request to the server is called as a transaction. Is it clear, guys? Everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, so and response time we discussed yesterday in detail, right? So what is the response time? So let's say, for example, you are going to iPhone page on apple.com. So this is one, sorry. So it is taking this is one transaction, and it took some certain time to load this page, isn't it? Or to get a response from the server. It's taking certain time to get a response from the server, right? So how much time it is taking to get that response from the server, right? That is called as response time of that transaction. Understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now, hits per second throughput and all, we'll discuss it later. But for now, remember that performance metrics can be divided, can be of two types. Performance metrics are of two types. One is client side metric, the other one is server side metrics. So we'll discuss later what is server side metric and why is it important. Okay, and all we'll discuss these concepts later. So once we complete the scripting, right, then we'll discuss that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And coming to server side metrics, these are the important server side metrics. There are a lot of other server side metrics, but these are the important ones that everyone should know and remember for interviews. Okay. So what is the CPU utilization on the server, memory utilization? Maybe this is too early to explain this. I'll cover this later. Now, so let's understand what are the goals of performance testing. Anyways, like these are the four major factors for doing performance testing. Let's understand what are the goals of performance testing for a already existing application and for a newly built application. Okay. So Bhargavi, let me know if you can't understand as you are joining, Bhargavi and Samla. So if you have any queries, then feel free to stop me. and ask immediately. Okay, please don't carry forward that doubt in your mind.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Right? Yeah. So let's understand, why do we do performance testing? Why should we do performance testing for a already existing application and for a newly built application? Okay. So see what now, first of all, for a already existing application means already existing system means which is already in production, means which is available in over internet and which is available in the which is live already, which is already live now. So for example, these are all live applications already in production, redbus.in or Amazon. Production environment, production application means the application which is used already being used by real-time users. Understood, guys?
Yes,
That's what I mean to say
Yes.
already in production means. Okay. Understood what is meant by already existing system? Existing systems are applications. Okay, read this term as systems are applications. Again, I explain what is meant by an application, right? A software application. Application means software application means, so it can be a website like this, or it can be a desktop application, right? It can be a desktop application like Zoom meeting, isn't it? Zoom meeting is a desktop application. Okay, we'll discuss that later. What is the difference between browser-based applications and desktop applications? We'll discuss that later. Okay, so all these are in production, right? Whatever we are able to access, users like you and me are able to access, right? Those are all in production. Understood, guys? Already they are in live. Okay, now when should we do performance testing for an already existing application? Let me give some examples for this, right? You first understand this term, what is meant by already existing application, or what already in production ante enti. What does it mean by already in production? Everyone is clear on this, right?
yes, yes, clear.
Now,
Yes, it's clear.
now let's understand, in what cases we do performance testing for a already existing application. Okay. So first one is, whenever a new feature or new functionality is added to an existing application, even though it is already in production, right? We have to do testing. We have to do all types of testing, including performance testing. Okay. Whenever a new feature or new functionality is added. So what is meant by a new feature or new functionality? Any examples? Sorry. Any examples? What is meant by, or can you list out some? If you may be using different applications, right? Can you list out some applications where
Like
some new
WhatsApp.
feature is added recently?
Like WhatsApp, sir. Like disappearing
Right.
messages.
Right. So WhatsApp, everyone should be using WhatsApp, right?
Yes, and one more thing is Facebook, like a dark theme like that.
Facebook, yeah, yes. So Facebook is existing from many years. However, so I think in 2020 or recently, we're not bothered about when it was introduced, but dark theme was introduced in Facebook, right? So one new feature called dark theme was introduced in for Facebook application. So before introducing that, those kind of applications are new functionality. Okay, let me give some examples for this, for new feature or new functionality. Can anyone tell what are the new features? And most of you are using Redbus application, right? You are aware of that, yes or no?
Yes.
Right. So can someone list some new feature or some new functionality which was added recently? Recently means, I think 2020 or 2021, one new feature was introduced like 2 years back or
Like
so.
lady seat has been a new feature for Redbus.
Okay. Okay. Any other features? You remember something previously 2 years back? If you are using, right, if you are using Redbus from more than 5 years or more than 3 years, previously, if you booked a ticket and if you want to postpone the journey, previously what we had to do, guys?
We have to cancel the ticket and again we have to book.
Right. So previously we have to cancel the ticket and we have to rebook the ticket, right? But in 2020 or so, they introduced one new feature called change travel date. Yes or no? Rescheduled
Yes.
ticket and better first. This was named as rescheduled ticket, but now they changed it as change the travel date. In case if you want to postpone the journey, right? So you need not cancel the ticket, but you can book the ticket for the same bus on that day, whatever day you want to postpone, isn't it? So this is one. So every application. Let me, so before going to that, so any other features that you were introduced recently in the last 3 to 4 years also?
Like YouTube.
So, you know IRCTC, right? Yeah, YouTube like
Yeah.
to introduce a lot of new
Yeah, in
features.
YouTube, now when you see the videos are playing automatically. And
Right.
compared to the previous, currently the videos are playing automatically.
Right. Yeah. So there will be a lot. So for any application, most of the applications will be subjected to changes or upgrades, isn't it? With new features or new functionality. So whenever a new feature or functionality is added, we have, even though the application is already in production, we have to do testing, all types of testing, not only performance testing, guys, by the way. So developers will do unit testing, SIT environment testers will do integration testing and functional testing, performance test engineers will do performance testing, security testing people will do security testing of that application, right? So whenever a new feature or new functionality is added, even though it is an already existing application, we will do performance testing. So that is one scenario where you have to do performance testing. Okay. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
So there are,
sir.
yeah.
Yes,
Any
sir.
queries? Any queries, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, what else? So, any other applications where you know some new features are introduced? So, IRCTC, for example, one new feature or one very important feature was introduced in IRCTC a couple of years back. Of course, couple of months back or years back. Anyone? You remember, like, previously when we booked a ticket in waiting list, we don't know what is the confirmation, what are the chances of getting it confirmed. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes. Agree that.
Now, like last 2 years back, they introduced one new feature in IRCTC. What is that?
It will show the waiting list.
Confirmation probability.
Percentage.
It will show the confirmation
Percentage and
probability.
probability.
Right. So whenever such features are introduced, right, again, they have to do performance testing, even though it is an already existing application, they have to do performance testing, right? This is one scenario. So just some examples. So in that way, we can discuss a lot of examples.
Yeah.
Okay.
In
Or
Paytm and
else,
Amazon, they have provided new feature like pay later, buy now and pay later in a month.
sorry, can you please repeat that?
Like in Paytm and in Amazon, they provided a new feature that you can buy now and pay the bill after a month.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, buy now and pay later, right? So they are giving credit now, Paytm and Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Amazon also introduced one new feature, that feature. We can pay later after some time, like they are giving some limit based on the transaction history.
Yeah.
Right. I think for me, like the limit was some 15,000 or something like that. Credit limit. Okay. So whenever a new feature or new functionality is added, we have to do performance testing. Not only for performance testing, application, that application will be subjected to all types of testing. Unit testing, so integration testing, and all this, functional testing, performance, security testing, and all this, right? That is one scenario where we do performance testing. Next scenario is increasing number of users are adding new users. Okay. Increasing number of users are adding new users. Let me give some example for this. Okay. Suppose you might have known that, there was a bank called previously, there was a bank called ING Vaishya Bank. You remember that, right? Okay. I think when I switched to Notepad, Notepad, right? Notepad plus, then I stopped. Yeah, now I recollected that. Right. So just for recording purpose, guys. So let me quickly repeat this. Right. So what is this scenario, guys? Where we have to do? What are the different scenarios in which we do performance testing? And when I am explaining this increasing number of users or new users, I give this example, isn't it? Suppose, so in 2020, I think like Kotak Mahindra Bank acquired ING Vaishya Bank. So before acquisition, right? Let's assume that ING Vaishya Bank is a small bank, and let's assume that there are 2 lakh net banking users who are using, and they are using ingvaishya.com. Okay. That is the website of ingvaishya.com. That was the website. Okay. Now it is no more, right? Because it was acquired by Kotak Mahindra Bank. So this website is not there now. Obviously, it won't be there, right? And now Kotak Mahindra Bank has their own users, like who are using Kotak.com website. Let's say like 10 lakh users are there who are using net banking application. Everyone will not be using net banking application, right? That's why I mentioned here 10 lakh net banking users. Understood, guys? Right? Now, once Kotak Mahindra Bank acquired this ING Vaishya Bank, all the existing users of ING Vaishya Bank, right? They will bring this website will be no longer existing, and all their accounts will be shifted to Kotak Mahindra Bank, and they have to start using this Kotak.com website. So this is a classic example of this scenario where we have increasing number of users are adding new users, isn't it? In the
Yes, sir.
same way, like some 5 subsidiary state banks got merged into State Bank of India. You remember, like previously we have State Bank of Hyderabad and State Bank of Mysore. Now all those got merged into State Bank of India, their parent branch or the parent bank, right? So now, previously we used to have SBI. For SBI, we still have online SBI.com. Okay, SBI net banking. What is the net banking application? Online SBI.com. And State Bank of Hyderabad used to have a different website, right? So online SBH.com or something, right? And also some more other banks, some Bharti Mahila Bank, that was also merged into State Bank of India. So before merger, right, they have their own websites. They are, that Bharti Mahila Bank or whatever it is. And recently also there are some banks got merged. I think Andhra Bank got merged into Indian Bank or Union Bank, something. I don't remember exactly.
Union, sir.
Union Bank,
Bank.
right? So previously Andhra Bank has their own website, right? Now there is no Andhra Bank website. No, there is no separate Andhra Bank website, but they will be using this Union Bank website now. All the Andhra Bank previous customers, they have to start using this Union Bank website, whatever bank it was merged with, isn't it? So these are some classical examples of like this scenario, right? Increasing number of users or adding new users, isn't it? And next example is, and another scenario where we have to do performance testing is whenever there is a major software upgrade, like database upgrade or OS migration on the servers. I already explained this, like, so suppose if an application is using Oracle 12 as their database. Now let's say Oracle has released a new version, which is more stable or more, giving better performance than previous version, right? So before, so they anyways, like, but client will not take it for granted. Client will not take it for granted because Oracle has released that. That's why we can blindly upgrade the database. What they will do is first they will test that they will do the upgrade in the test environment or engineering environment, and we do performance testing, or they get that performance testing done, and then only they will upgrade it into production once they make sure that everything is working fine and we are getting better performance than before. Okay. And whenever there is a hardware upgrade on the servers also, we do performance testing. Whenever there is a hardware upgrade. Okay. And again, when I say servers, right, there are different types of servers, web app and DB servers. I'll explain what is that web app and DB servers. Okay, in the one of the next in the coming up sessions. Okay. Any typical, so this is the architecture of any typical web application, any website, right? It will have, so users may be using different browsers, and any typical web application or any typical application contains web server, application server, and database server. We'll discuss that later. What is web server? What is app server? What is the difference between web server and app server, right? And how do they communicate with each other? What is this load balancer? We'll discuss those details later on. Is it interesting, guys?
Yes, it is interesting.
Or you feel like there are too many things to learn? Okay.
Yeah, we are interested in learning.
Testing basics, guys, for your information. So most of the trainers, like if you join a training, right? So with most of the other institutes, they will start load runner on JMeter on second day or third day. You can check with anyone, or they hardly spend 1 or 2 days on basics. Okay. But from my first batch, I have been doing this. I know I'm spending more time on fundamentals, then only I'll start any tool. Okay. I'll spend mostly like 10 to 15 sessions on performance testing fundamentals. Then scripting will become easy for you. If you know what is this, if you know these basics and all, you should know these basics first before learning any tool, right? So whenever there is a hardware upgrade on the servers, hardware upgrade means if the CPU upgrade, if there is some hardware upgrade like CPU processor is being upgraded on the servers, or RAM is being upgraded on the servers, right? So whenever there is some hardware upgrade also, we will do performance testing. Okay. And after fixing any performance issues, now what is this performance issue, right? When you visit some websites, you see sometimes like 404 not found, or sometimes the page doesn't load faster. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, yes.
For example, did anyone use this Heritage website? Anyone previously?
Yes.
Heritage Fresh website previously? Did you use any
Yes,
time
yes, yes.
before pandemic? Did you use this website before COVID, before pandemic?
No, sir.
We don't even know that they have a website. Yes or no? Because we are habituated to go to the shop and buy it. That's it, right? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
But see, this used to work before also well, right? But once during the COVID time, right? So this website has become handicapped because their website was designed for very less number of users. Now during pandemic, most of the guys started using this online websites like Big Basket or this one heritagefoods.in or any other shopping website. Now see here, we see this site can't be reached. Why? Because their application is not capable of supporting the new user load, right? And they are not fixing this also actually because Reliance has acquired this Heritage Foods. That's why that is another reason why they are not that they don't want to make this website available, right? Now it came up. Previously displayed site can't be displayed, isn't it?
Yes, yes, sir.
Right? During pandemic time, like I tried to place an order like a number of times, but it never worked. This website never worked. Okay. So because it has some performance issues, and because more users started using this website in the pandemic time, their website is crashing, used to crash frequently. Most of the times we used to get site can't be displayed or page can't be displayed, right? These are one of the performance issues. Okay. So whenever there are some performance issues identified and fixed, right? Then also we do performance testing to make sure that the issues are fixed or not. Let me give some simple example for this. Okay. So you have a bike and you are not getting good mileage, right? That is one performance issue of that bike. Yes or no?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir. Right?
Yes, sir.
Suppose you are getting very poor mileage, so you give it to the mechanic or a service center, and once he completes the servicing and all, so you will test it again, right? You will test whether you are getting good mileage or not, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Right? In the same way, if any application has performance issues and development team says that we have fixed some issues, right? Performance team should validate that whether the issues are really fixed or not, right? Just like how you validate, how you check your bike mileage after getting the service done. Understood, guys? Right? And performance testing also will be done as an ongoing or regular activity in each sprint. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these are some scenarios where we do performance testing for an already existing application. Okay, and for a newly built application, when do we do performance testing for a newly built application? So, guys, I have a hot stop here. So I'll, I have another batch now. So I'll stop it here for today. We'll continue from Monday. Okay. These examples are understood, right?
Yes, sir.
All these examples
sir.
are understood, and you now if you can answer like what are the different scenarios in which we have to do performance testing for any application. Not only is a website, right? Not only web applications, but mobile apps or anything. Okay, or WhatsApp or Facebook or anything. So we do performance testing for those kind of apps also. Mobile apps like Facebook app or WhatsApp or something. So for your information, like we got one project and the application is a WhatsApp like application. Okay, one recent project that our company got is like they have a WhatsApp like application, and we like we got a project to do performance testing for that application. Okay. So just for information, so but mostly I will be showing you websites examples only. But don't think that like we do performance testing for only websites, only web applications. We do performance testing for mobile apps as well, performance testing for desktop applications as well. Understood, guys?
Yes,
So
sir.
when you install Zoom meeting, that is a desktop application. That is running on your computer, right? You are not using from a browser. Okay. So these are all browser-based applications. Like for example, Zoom also has a browser-based application. If you type zoom.us, you can join the meeting from here also. You are aware of that, right? You can join a meeting from here also, but it has a limited functionality. If I want to take control, right, I can't take control of your system if you join from a browser. Okay. But you install Zoom meeting on your machine, so I'll get all the features. You will get all the features of Zoom meeting. Okay. So you have a web application for Zoom meeting as well as a desktop application also. Whatever, most of you might have installed Zoom meeting on your machine. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Or anyone joining from browser?
Mobile application also available.
Right. Mobile app also available. Correct. Anyone joined from Zoom browser? Anyone joined Zoom meeting from a browser? No, right? Everyone
sir.
installed Zoom meeting on their machine or mobile, right? So please don't join from mobile, guys. Please join from laptop or desktop. Okay. Yeah, I'll stop it here, guys, for today. Have a nice weekend and see you all on Monday.
Sir,
Okay,
one
thank you.
question.
Yes, please.
Sir, are we going to cover desktop application performance also?
No.
Can we have one session for little bit overview only, if possible?
I'll make a video on that and upload to my channel.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Any other queries, guys, before we close the session?
No, sir. No.
Okay.
Sir, what is print?
So enrollments are still in progress into the current batch, guys. So we have few more seats available. So please, if you are interested, someone is interested to join the live training. So I'm going to close the demo sessions in 1 or 2 days. So please contact my WhatsApp number that is being displayed here. Okay, if someone want to enroll for this training. This is for YouTube viewers, guys. Okay. Thanks for watching and have a nice weekend.